better daily, where we work hard in our minds, bodies, and our spirits to become 1% better every single day. Download the app and join our Betterment family at betterdaily.live to catch the video version of these podcasts. Here's your host and my dad, Alex Van Houten.
What is up, Betterment family? This is Alex Van Houten in Better Daily Live. Happy Monday. It is Mindset Monday, and on Mindset Monday, I work with you to help you get your mind in the right place. And honestly, it's not like I have everything figured out mind-wise. It's that I'm sharing with you how I'm getting my mind in the right place, and hopefully you'll share with me what your mindset is this week. In between us sharing, maybe our mindsets can be better together. That's the whole point of Better Daily, by the way. 1% better every day, and we don't do it alone. If you have a friend that needs to be a part of this community, please share betterdaily.live with them and get them in here so that they have the opportunity to be a part of what we're doing here. So today's mindset is release your memory. Release your memory. So I'm going to tell you about a little bit of neuroscience about how our minds work, and then talk to you about where this mindset comes from. Now, when we remember things, there's different types of memory. There's like long-term memory, which is years and years and years in the past. Maybe you remember something special you got for your birthday once upon a time, or maybe you remember small things about places that you lived when you were a child, and that are unique to you. You might remember Grandpa Joe's favorite cookie, or the way I was just telling my kids about my grandpa, who is no longer with us, but my grandpa, who he had fake teeth, he had dentures, and we kids thought it was hilarious when he would push them out of his mouth and clack them at us. And I remember that. It's something I remember about my grandpa when I was 5, 6, 7 years old, and we'd giggle and laugh and run away and all that stuff, and he always did it. That was the thing he did when he was hanging out with us. Good morning, John. Good morning, Lisa. Good to see you guys this morning. And so those are long-term memories. We also have things in our short-term memory. So today's Monday. Maybe you have a running to-do list in your head right now of all the things that you hope you remember to do by the end of the week. Maybe you have those in there, right? And so your mind is kind of buzzing right now. It's got stuff to do. And the process of memory, our ability to remember things and to pull them from the past into the present, and maybe even remember things we intend to do so that we can plan for the future. It's a very powerful thing. And memory, the way we experience it as conscious beings, it seems to be very different from the way most animals experience memory, or at least the way that we use our memory. It's something we don't understand very well. So, for instance, there is reason to believe that when we go through a day, there are all these things that happen to us and that we do, right? So, like for breakfast, if I say, what did you eat for breakfast last Thursday? Most of you wouldn't remember, right? But if last Thursday, a really good friend of yours had a heart attack, and you went to the hospital to visit them, and you ate breakfast while waiting to visit them, right? Then you would remember what you ate for breakfast. So our memory is very selective, because it seems that one of the things memory does for us is it highlights things that really matter and that we still need to learn from. There's a chapter in Jordan Peterson's second book, 12 More Rules for Life. He talks about the idea that, and he's a clinical psychologist of over 30 years at this point, and very influential, intellectually speaking. One of the things he talks about in his book is if you have a memory that still makes you cry when you think about it, then you need to write that down. And I would argue there's probably more to it than that, but I'll get there in a second. And what he's talking about there is the fact that there are memories that embody some sort of trauma or some sort of really intense emotional thing. And the point of our memory is to learn a lesson from the thing we're remembering, so that maybe we can update our map for future times we encounter this thing, right? And so they flash through our mind randomly throughout the day, and all kinds of stuff. Things you want to remember about what you need to do this week, random things from childhood way back when, something some idiot said to you as a teenager, who knows? Like it's all swimming around in there, and some of you more than others, right? I know for me, this has been an extremely important process of my own wholeness and healing. is going through my memories and making sense of them, making the most sense of them I can, praying over them, handing them to God, taking away lessons that I think might matter. I write letters to my sons, and they haven't seen these letters and they're kind of ongoing, but I write some of these memories down because as they're growing as children, I'm remembering things that maybe they might want to know about their dad. Because I'll say to them regularly, hey man, I don't have this figured out. This is how my childhood was different. I dealt with that. This is what those kids said. This is how bullying was for me, right? There's all those things that I would love for them to know. And sometimes we have conversations about them. But for me, I have to write it down. So today's mindset is release your memory. Why do I say that? Well, if there's a portion of your brain that is dealing with memories that honestly just need to be let go, right? I'll take an easy example. A to-do list. You have a to-do list in your head, and it's bothering you because you have things that you need to get done. If you write them down, then you can let go of the memory. You can let go of the to-do list in your head because it's right there on paper. You can put it somewhere where you won't forget. And then that part of your mind can be used for something else, like remembering a name. Have you ever had that where you meet somebody, you look them in the eyes, you shake their hand, you say your name, they say theirs, in the next second, you forget their name. Oops. So awkward. Tell me your name again. I'm sorry, how do you spell your name? Happens to me all the time. Why does that happen? It happens because my memory is not currently committed to this conversation. My memory is committed to something else. Maybe I'm remembering what I was up to just a second ago before I met this person. Maybe I am trying to remember a detail about this conversation, or maybe where I met this person before, or perhaps I'm deciding what it is that I'm going to say next. My memory is not committed to this current conversation. And so today's mindset is release your memory. What are you remembering right now that is not helpful in this week? Maybe it's a memory from the past that needs to be written down. Maybe it needs to be talked about a little bit so that you can be done with it, so you can move past it, and so that you can commit that part of your brain to something else. Or maybe it's something in the immediate, something in the short term that you need to release yourself. You need to write it down, put it somewhere where you won't forget. Maybe write it in an email. This is a fun, you can write an email and schedule it to send to you 3 days from now. So that 6 a.m. On Wednesday or Thursday, you get the email and you're like, oh yeah, I meant to do that. I'm really glad I remembered to remember that. And you can release it. You can be done. There's this idea of these 4 Ds. I want to say this is a John Maxwell thing, but he says when something comes across your desk, you can do it right now. You can defer it. That means push it into the future. You can delegate it. That means give it to somebody else who you trust to do the job well, or you can dump it and say, hey, this isn't worth messing with. And that's kind of what I'm telling you today is I want you to be able to bring your entire self to bear on this week. And you won't be able to do that if there's parts of you that are ruminating and dealing with memories and task lists and to-dos and all those things, because there's going to be a part of you that's stuck doing that on the inside. And you won't be able to bring your full self, your full attention, your full focus to bear on the moments this week that matter. So, today's mindset, release your mind from those memories. Write them down, talk about them, get them somewhere where they need to be so that you can set your mind toward other things in the present moment. Guys, this has been Alex Van Houten in Better Daily Live. Thank you so much for joining me for Mindset Monday. Tomorrow's Nutrition Tip Tuesday, and I'm excited to bring something to you to help us feed ourselves well on this 1% better journey. Until then, it's just 1%. You got this.
Thank you for joining us for 1% Better today. Don't forget to subscribe for the podcast. Leave us a raving review to tell others how Better Daily has helped you in your journey. If you want more Better Daily, download our app and join our Betterment family. at betterdaily.live. Use code POD to get 25% off your subscription. That's POD, all caps, to save 25% on your subscription. We all have a cross to carry. It's lighter when we do it together. Go to betterdaily.live today.